Listen, Little Man is a human, not a scientific document. It was written in the summer of 1946 for the archives of the Orgon Institute. At the time there was no intention of publishing it. It reflects the inner turmoil of a scientist and physician who had observed the little man for many years and seen, first with astonishment, then with horror, what he does to himself. How he suffers, rebels, honours his enemies and murders his friends. How, wherever he acquires power in the name of the people, he misuses it and transforms it into something more cruel than the tyranny he had previously suffered at the hands of upper-class sadists. This appeal to the little man was a silent response to gossip and slander. When it was written, no one could foresee that a government agency charged with the safeguard of public health, in league with politicians and psychoanalytical careerists, would unleash an attack on organ research. The decision to publish this appeal as a historical document was made in 1947, when the emotional plague conspired to kill organ research. Not to prove it unsound, but to kill it by defamation. It was felt that the common man must learn what a scientist and psychiatrist actually is, and what he, the little man, looks like to his experienced eye. He must be made acquainted with the reality which alone can counteract his ruinous craving for authority, and be told very clearly what a grave responsibility he bears in everything he does, whether he is working, loving, hating, or just talking. He must learn how he gets to be a black or red fascist. Anyone who is fighting for the safeguard of life and the protection of our children must necessarily oppose red as well as black fascism. Not because the red fascists, like the black fascists in their day, have a murderous ideology, but because they make cripples, puppets and moral idiots of living children. Because they exalt the state over justice, lies over truth, and war over life. Because children and the preservation of the life force that is in them are the only hope we have left. An educator and physician knows only one allegiance, to the life force in child and patient. If he is true to this allegiance, he will find simple answers to his political problems. This appeal does not ask to be taken as a guide to life. It describes the emotional storms of a productive individual who loves life. It does not propose to convince or to win adherents. It sets forth experience as a painting sets forth a storm. It makes no plea for the reader's sympathy. It formulates no program. The scientist and thinker asks but one thing of the reader, a personal reaction such as poets and philosophers have always been assured of. It is a hard-working scientist's protest against the secret, unavowed design of the emotional plague to destroy him with poison arrows shot from a secure hiding place. It shows what the emotional plague is, how it functions, and how it obstructs progress. It is also a profession of faith in the vast treasures that lie untapped in the depths of human nature, ready to be utilized for the fulfillment of human hopes. Those who are truly alive are kindly and unsuspecting in their human relationships, and consequently endangered under present conditions. They assume that others think and act generously, kindly and helpfully, in accordance with the laws of life. This natural attitude, fundamental to healthy children as well as to primitive man, inevitably represents a great danger in the struggle for a rational way of life, as long as the emotional plague subsists, because the plague-ridden impute their own manner of thinking and acting to their fellow men. A kindly man believes that all men are kindly, while one infected with the plague believes that all men lie and cheat and are hungry for power. In such a situation, the living are at an obvious disadvantage. When they give to the plague-ridden, they are sucked dry, then ridiculed or betrayed. This has always been true. It is high time for the living to get tough, for toughness is indispensable in the struggle to safeguard and develop the life force. This will not detract from their goodness, as long as they stand courageously to the truth. There is ground for hope in the fact that among millions of decent, hard-working people, there are only a few plague-ridden individuals who do untold harm by appealing to the dark, dangerous drives of the armoured average man and mobilizing him for political murder. There is but one antidote to the average man's predisposition to plague, his own feeling for true life. The life force does not seek power, but demands only to play its full and acknowledged part in human affairs. It manifests itself through love, work and knowledge. Anyone who wants to safeguard the life force from the emotional plague must learn to make at least as much use of the right of free speech that we enjoy in America for good ends as the emotional plague does for evil ones. Granted equal opportunity for expression, rationality is bound to win out in the end. That is our great hope.